Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So, lunch break, lunch break detailing. And today I just kind of wanted to, this is going to be a short one because I'm going to put this on primarily on Facebook, but I might share this to YouTube also. So, the topic is one of my favorite products, which are drying aids. I've said it all over the place and I'll continually say it wherever I can. Any product that can spare or protect my paint from me is worth a spot on the shelf. Everybody's talking about 12 months, 6 months, ceramic sealant sprays, and then the torture tests on YouTube, and then you come to find out that most of these sprays, even if they say 12, it's usually around 4 to 5. Honestly, you shouldn't expect a spray to last more than a month, in my opinion, depending if you're really driving it or whatever. So month two, by 3 months, you really should be looking to clean the panel and put something else on there, right? Those who know, I wash weekly. My car, my wife's car, sometimes twice a week, a rinseless and a regular wash, depending on the week. So I put a lot, there's a lot of that goes into the car. Now, primarily, when I foam, I'll blow the car off, which is a benefit of ceramic coatings. It comes right off, minimal drying. I'll just do one little quick pass with a drying towel and a spray, a drying aid, and that's pretty much it. Other cases, I may want to put a sealant over it just because I have it and it's slick and great. But ideally, I want a product for me anyway. I'm not trying to get durability. I have a ceramic coating. I could ceramic coat the car. It's not a hard process. It's just a lot of time involved. And it could be a pain in the ass. This coating was a pain in the ass to apply, but I'm happy with the results. So, but meanwhile, coated or not, in any of my cars, I have a tendency to swirl the paint. I have a tendency to get in there and I buy a ton of microfibers. That's all towels. That drawer right there, all towels. I'm currently drying some more that I picked up from AliExpress. I invest a bit into towels, and even so, it only takes a second. It's like anything else, right? The towel only needs to do it one time. You need to make sure that every time you touch the car, you're being safe. And it's there. It's a little hard to see, thankfully, because of a product that anybody who's been following my channel knows, and my content on YouTube knows that this area here, when I had the issues with the coating and sealant and then H2, Hydro 2, that whole debacle, I was like scrubbing panel prep into the paint at some point. I was trying not to be hard, and I marred this area. Car Pro Essence Plus has been a truly, when it came out, it was kind of a rage product. It was hype. I see a lot of YouTube videos based on maybe like 4 years ago about the product, nothing within the last year. But I think they need to revisit that product because there was a detailer who recently did a video on it that said this is something that they really love using in their shop. And so I picked some up from a YouTube, Facebook page, and used it on my car to kind of see if it can mitigate some of the. And sure enough, it did. It didn't get it. It's not going to get it away. The scratches, not going to remove any of the swirls or love marks, but it will hide some of them. Some of them it will remove based on the combination of pads that you used. And I used the gloss pad as well as a finishing pad. And the finishing pad was the one that had just enough cut to maybe get in there a little bit without removing the coating. After which point, I kind of went over with the sealant. Again, that's when you would want to use the sealant. Essence Plus has its own little resins that you let it cure over the course of a half hour, which I did 2 passes, so an hour. And then I kind of went over with Meguiar's hybrid paint coating to shore things up and then see how it behaves. And then, because I'm not sure if the spots where I kind of went the hardest with the finishing pad, I might have removed the coating. So next, we'll see how it rocks for a year. And then I have coatings on deck to redo this coating, my wife's coating, in case I need to or want to. So I said it was going to be short, and it is not short. So we ended up talking about everything. So anyway, back to the topic of drying aids. Why I like them, because it helps mitigate or helps minimize the chances of me swirling my paint, along with the use of really good towels and the right towels for the job, right? So a towel like this This is the Kirkland Costco / Walmart brand that's now being downgraded because of what I use it for. That I use, well, besides general purpose. If I was using it on the paint, it would be primarily to apply a spray. So short nap is great for applying a spray and for removing it. So I have a slightly higher GSM short nap. This one here, I love this to remove coatings. I use this for sprays, sealants, etc. And then something with a little more pile to it, I'll use on the final pass of the car, right? So that, I have this hybrid, which is a pretty cool hybrid from Walmart, which is drying twisted loop on one side, coral fleece on the other. This I might use as a general purpose as I'm drying the car. So, for spots like door jams, these things that tend to drip forever, the hatch, I'll have that to kind of go over as I'm applying. If I'm applying a drying aid, final pass, and I see some more drips, that towel comes out. And then, of course, everything else. Drying towels are dedicated. They're in here, dedicated for the job. They don't do anything but dry the paint. I do not use that with the drying aid. I do not use that with sealants. Even though it's a drying towel, its main job is to pull off a majority of the water if I'm doing a rinseless wash, and not that. And then if I'm doing spots, then I'm coming through with the drying aid. And then, of course, the whole car in the drying aid. So let's go over the drying aids. These are I'm just focusing on drying aids. So let's do that. Let's bring this guy down. Not a drying aid, but it's a great product from Aqualux Detail Supplies. More on that later. Here, let's get the small bottles out. Would I say that's a drying aid? That's kind of has sealant properties to it. No, sealant properties. Well, maybe an honorable mention at the end. It's okay. So, yeah, but then again, tech. All right, let's bring it out. Honorable mention. All right, so let's start from left to right. You could tell from the color, this is a goated product for detailers everywhere. This is Technician's Choice 582. Fantastic product. This thing can go on. It can go on in the sun. It's easy to use. Very forgiving. Flashes quick. Doesn't smear much. It could be diluted. You could dilute it 1-to-1, so half tech, half distilled water. Always dilute with distilled water, not tap, especially your spray bottle products. And yeah, it leaves supposedly 3 months of protection. Those who use it don't use it as a sealant. We use it as a drying aid. We dilute it, or we keep it neat, or both. And we're primarily using this like every wash or whenever we feel like it. I use it not all the time. I like to have some of the other products to use, but I'll use it if I'm like in a deep spot, like something is smearing, something's being kind of a pain in the ass, something like this. This is the perfect storm. We'll talk about that later. But something like that mix kind of going sideways on me. I need to rein it in. I'm reaching for Tech 582 to hopefully help me with swirls, and also because it has a nice silica emulsion in it. This is Obsessed Garage Drying Aid, as it says here in the bottle. This here is also kind of goated. It's very simple. All it is, drying aid. How much protection? A week, maybe 2. It has no protection in it whatsoever, but fantastic slickness and good gloss and easy use, no smearing. Could use it on every part of the car, no issues. Basically, no drama. Kind of pricey for what it is. I think it's like $50 some odd for a gallon, which is the only way I would buy something like this. This I got for sale on somebody's site, trying to get rid of it. So I've been using it, not much. I use it. This I just use once in a while, just to kind of as a benchmark, because I did love it and I don't want to get rid of it. So I'll benchmark any of my other detail sprays against this, and then at some point I'll have to finish the bottle. So that's this guy. This guy, absolutely worth it. As far as slickness, this is more slick than the Tech 582. But the Tech 582 overall, to me, it checks more boxes than the drying aid. So that's good. Let's stick with the ones that you can buy at the stores. So this here I got last week. No introduction. Adams Polishes Graphene Detail Spray. You can pick this up at any Walmart. It's the graphene infused version, which basically means some reduced oxides in it, just for coloring, of their famous detail spray. So this is a pretty damn good product. I used it briefly. I like it. It definitely gives it a good look. I wouldn't say it kills on slickness, but it's pretty good. So we'll just put that on the shelf. That's my small bottle shelf. This here, the Rag Company, they may still have some bottles. They're doing 50% off. This is a Star Gloss Silk High Gloss Detail Spray. This is pretty good. This was up there as far as slickness, looks. The smell is phenomenal. It's like a laundry scent, fresh laundry scent. That I like. But as far as, again, no durability, but again, don't care about that. So easy use, this just checks the boxes because it's kind of very much like Adams Graphene Detail Spray. So I'll put them like side by side, although that smells phenomenal compared to that. Actually, compared to Tech 582, which smells great, yes. Dryinade, Obsessed Garage, smells like vinegar. Actually, it doesn't smell horrible, but it has no real good smell to it. It's just whatever it smells is to keep it from smelling bad. Because those kind of emulsions can smell like, I think Scott Blaze says, wet feet. So that's whatever it has to keep that from happening. Okay, next one that could be bought. This here I bought for a family member, and they sent it back to me. So I'm going to use it. I used it last night on my wife's car. I kind of like it. It has some protection on it. I don't really know much about it. There's not much on it online. I looked at the SDS sheet. Nothing crazy inside of it. So yeah, we're just gonna go through this bottle. So I'm actually gonna put it down here because that shelf's crowded. So that's down there. And this here, I guess it counts as a purchase. You could purchase. This is a combination of. They call it the perfect storm online. And so what is it? It is half and half, 1-to-1 of Detail Co's Lightning. Lightning? No, I'm sorry. This is the Infinity. This is their ceramic sealant Infinity, which can be quite a pain to use if you don't use it with a damp towel or the car wet, or you basically have to use some water to activate it and make it easier to use. So to make it easier to use, what some people have been doing is mixing it with 1-to-1 with Lightning, which is their quick detailer slash, I guess I consider it a little bit of everything, but it is a quick detailer. So mix 1-to-1, Lightning, Infinity, Perfect Storm. This is actually really damn good for what it is. Durability, it has some durability, but as far as gloss and looks and slickness, I've used it on my wife's car a few times, and it's been damn good. So that goes there. I probably should be using it more, but I have so much of that stuff that I kind of want to get rid of the other bottles first. This is just, it's more of a gloss agent slash cleaner. This is Superior Products Easy Shine. We'll see in a second. There's the gallons over there. Actually, let's go get it. So looking at the SDS sheet for Show Car Shine. This is it right here. Show Car Shine Gloss Intensifier White Bond Wax. This is very much like, to me anyway, Kokemi's Quick Detailer FSE. So it has the same active ingredient. I don't know about percentages or whatever, but I use that primarily for door jams, the front bumper sometimes, stuff like that. So that's what's in there. Now for the interesting stuff. Saving that one for last, because but this here is my own product. So I kind of came across this. This is my mix of. So I had Bead Maker back in the day. It's right here, and I was not happy. I love the way it felt. It was my first time using some higher end products, and I loved the smell, loved the way it made the car look. I was having some dust issues right away with it. I wasn't sure. I still don't know what it was. Was it acting poorly with the coatings that I had? Was it? Was there something going on? Nevertheless, I got probably around halfway through the bottle of Bead Maker when I said I can't do this anymore, and I moved on to exploded my shelves with other products. And so this ended up becoming a mix of Bead Maker, half Bead Maker, a quarter of Meguiar's Final Touch, which was a great, just simple detail spray, and then distilled water And then as I kind of started messing around with it, I added some more IPA. I added about maybe, based on what I had here, I think I added maybe 2% IPA mix in here, which is a lot considering. So I've had to kind of balance that out. There's a couple of months where I just didn't use it that much and was bringing it back down, adding more water to it. So I think it settled around 0.5 IPA. And then I added 1 fluid ounce of Ethos. Was it one? Two fluid ounces of Ethos Hybrid Ceramic Rinseless Wash. And at that point, this thing here, this is my detailer. I won't use it for the whole car, but if I'm doing something on the hood and it starts to get streaked out, like for instance last night, I thought I was reaching for the new finish detailer on my wife's hood. I was giving that, doing that, testing that out. And instead I was throwing on graphene coating. So immediately I'm like, why the hell is the hood getting all streaky and all nasty? And it went bad fast, shadowing the whole nine. So I had to reset the panel, and I reset it primarily with my spray. So that's this here. This is very slick. I've done the whole car with this. It's good. This is a solid product. But just so I give it an honorable mention because it is something that I do use and I am quite fond of. And then this. So this is unnamed. I think it's going to be called Hydro Monster, maybe. We'll see. But this is a creation from Scott Blay over at Dallas Paint Correction. Dallas Paint Correction is probably one of the first YouTube channels for detailing that I came across, along with John's Forensic Detailing channel. And a lot of good content that he was creating early on. Very helpful, very straightforward. No BS. Long-winded, kind of like my own content right now, but it was very thoughtful, very much explaining everything. I was very much a fan of his products. Anyway, he kind of disappeared from YouTube. You look around, you might see him pop up on other people's channels once in a while. He's moved towards making ceramic coatings, making towels. I think there was a product he made, Shield, that got mixed reviews at some point in 2019. And he's kind of been just laying the cut with his Facebook group, and I ended up joining that group. And I've spoken with the guy. He's really personable. Really, I appreciate that. And so early on, he sent me some products to test because he's getting back into it, right? He's in there. He's basically challenging his boundaries, learning new things, and expanding his ability to make products. So he's moving it instead of engaging with chemists to white label and stuff like that. He wants to make his own stuff. And so he's making his own chemicals, and he's going to come out with a signature series at some point. But now it's all just R&D, and these are them. So he's actively promoted these on Facebook. Like he's talking about these a lot. So if you join his group, you'll see a lot about these. So I don't think I'm in the wrong in sharing this. If I am, Scott, just message me and I'll take it down. But these are the ones that I've been testing for him so far, and I haven't tested all of them. He sent me this first. This is how we first got connected, through his page. And so this is a 6-month ceramic sealant. I've used this on my car and my wife's car, and it's really good. So it beads like crazy. It's a solid product. This one I haven't tested yet. This is 12 months, but we'll be testing that. Again, I'm not going to go crazy if it's not 12 months because I'll never be able to confirm it. I wash the car so much. But there's a lot of classes and learning and education and equipment and labor that goes into making these. And then this here is his drying aid, which I was most excited about. And I was like, please send me a bottle. Let me get my hands on that for the reasons that I explained at the front of this video. I'm not really, again, slickness, protection from marring, great smell, ease of use. And he said, hey, I'm actually working on something like that. And I'll give you a bottle of my first crack at it, which I think is pretty damn good and pretty damn slick. The slickest that he can make at the moment with the equipment that he has. And that's what this is. And from my initial use of it right away, this is every bit as slick as it's almost right there with these two right here, my favorite two. So the drying aid and the Tech 582, and this is right there with them. As far as beading, I'm I'm going to reset a panel on one of the cars, and I'm going to do a side by side of Tech and this here. But I think he's really looking at going after Tech more so than this. I'm not sure if this is on his radar. It should be though. But he said he's going to go for it. I'm not going to really go into how, but this here I want to test more of because I am really liking its application. So again, the sprays are good, but really what's important is the prep. How well you're washing the car, how well you're drying the car, what products you're using, what kind of thoughts behind it, what kind of towels are you using. You're using your bath towels in your car. Please don't. Those kind of, it's an investment. To keep a car looking good, and I think my car looks pretty good compared to my last cars. I'm really proud of where my skills have come in taking care of the paint. Being able to coat, wax, the whole nine. Like, this has been a great year of that kind of growth for me and into a hobby that I like. I think all of these things are critical. And can you do it for less? Probably. And at some point, part of me is also looking at ways to trim down. Once I run through these things, I would like to trim it down to a small amount of products. There was a time when I went into early in the phase, I was mixing my own products. That went sideways fast. There's a lot to it that I didn't consider. It was good for a little bit, but then kind of aged. Some of the stuff went foul, whatever. So now I just kind of want to get through what I have and selling some of my products. These guys I just bought to test. These are just coatings, and I use them primarily on wheels and trim. So this is an honorable mention for Reload, which is a topper. Sealant. Again, this is more about detail. It's not sealant. I was kind of trying to get to this. There we go. Honorable mention. I have a bottle of this in my car. It's waterless. I use it primarily as a waterless wash, not a quick detailer. So I have it mixed in a waterless wash dilution, and I use that, keep it in the car for the uh-ohs that happen. I don't put it on the shelf because I'm not using it with my whole car. When I dry it, I have all this to use. So that's pretty much the topic of quick detailers. A little bit, I kind of branched out here and there, whatever. Quick detailers, some towel talk. Again, quick detailers and drying aids are my favorite products. And fortunately, the market's flush with entries in those. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for hanging in there. Back to work. Bye.